17 years married, a smart home fan update, and one Snap notification that turned his whole world sideways. He built her dream house, and she paid him back with 600 pages of betrayal. And if you think the receipts stop there, you haven't seen what's inside the carry-on. Go on, Nigel.
I'm a 43-year-old male, and I need to send a letter of thanks to Dyson. I discovered my 49-year-old wife, who I've been married to for 17 years, was having an 18-month affair, all because I updated the filter on our fan using the app that the fan connects to. Apologies if the formatting is off. I'm posting this from my phone, a little history. We've been married for 17 years with no kids of our own. She was divorced once before and had 2 daughters, now 28 and 23 years old, that I helped raise before we got married. I've always felt like our relationship was solid. Just the usual bumps here and there. We always had what I believed was open communication. We talked about everything: work stress, our sex life, how we were feeling, even philosophy sometimes, just sitting together on the couch. In my view, we had a great connection and a strong, fulfilling sex life. We're both in good shape, live healthy lives, and stayed emotionally close. I work in the medical field, and I've been working a lot of overtime over the past 5 months. She works in legal consultancy and has been working from home that entire time. It made things feel a little distant, but we still made our days off count. Last night, I changed the filter on the Dyson fan in our bedroom. I asked my wife if I could use her phone to update the app and reset the alert. Mine was charging by the front door. I noticed she'd added a pattern unlock. I was going to ask about it, but while I was finding the app, a Snapchat notification popped up. The preview said, "I'll bring the special toy." My stomach dropped. My brain understood the words, but my mind just shut down. I sat there, apparently staring at the fan for several minutes, completely frozen. Eventually, she asked what was wrong. That message, I knew exactly what it meant. My wife travels once a quarter for work. An out-of-town meeting 2 states away, 5 days each quarter. The next one was coming up this Monday. That message was about that trip. I've been on Reddit for years, always just reading quietly. I've seen so many posts like this, and I always thought, that could never be me. But there I was, sitting on my bedroom floor. Cold, numb, dumbfounded. I pulled it together and said, "Oh, just getting info about the IP and router." That's how the fan connects through the app. What she didn't know was that I'd just uncovered a betrayal, and I wasn't going to ignore it. She had recently used my Chromebook to log into Facebook. So when she went to bed, I got to work. I took a week of emergency vacation. My supervisor is amazing, and once I explained the situation, she approved it without hesitation. I didn't sleep. I stayed up all night digging through her chats. She left for work this morning. Before she did, I made sure Google location history and Find My Phone were both turned on. I hate how suspicious I feel now. I hate that I can't even look myself in the mirror. She doesn't know I saw the Snapchat notification, but now I know everything. She left for the office this morning, and I made sure Google location history was active and that Find My Phone was enabled. I'm so suspicious of everything now that I can barely look at myself in the mirror. She doesn't know I saw that Snapchat message preview. She has no idea what I know. I logged into Verizon's message system using her number and credentials. What I found stunned me. There were over 15,000 messages dating back to February of last year. Texts, memes, flirty exchanges, and explicit photos. She stopped using regular text messages about 3 months ago. That's when they switched to Snapchat. I'm guessing because it's harder to track. I'm not on social media at all. No Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok, none of it. I was clueless, but I've been learning fast. Turns out you don't need Facebook, to log into Snapchat, just an email and a password. And guess what? She used this very Chromebook to access her account. 3 nights ago, she was lying next to me in bed, rubbing my back while I drifted off to sleep. And the whole time she was messaging him, sexting him right next to me. It's a younger guy from her office, married, with 3 young kids. I've met him twice. I shook his hand. I've been pacing around the house. This house I custom built for her, for hours. I can't stop replaying things, wondering how I missed it, wondering what else I haven't seen. It's not just the affair. It's what she said about me, about my insecurities. She's told him things that cut me to the core. She told him, "I love you." It doesn't even seem like they have long-term plans. It feels purely physical, and in a way that makes it worse. It's like she's throwing away our entire life just for sex. She knows cheating is a deal breaker for me. We've talked about that before. She knew. And she did it anyway. There are so many steps to cheat on someone. So many moments where you can stop. But once it's done, it's done. And now here I am, watching everything I thought I knew about my marriage collapse, one message at a time. I desperately want this to be a bad dream. She's said terrible things about me. She's laid bare my insecurities to this guy like I was some kind of joke to her. She told him, "I love you, and I still can't stop thinking." She did all of this knowing full well that cheating is the one thing I've always said I could never forgive. It wasn't a moment of weakness. It was 100 choices, one after another. Our usual routine when she leaves for her quarterly work trips. I drive her to the airport. We kiss goodbye. I send her off like a devoted husband. But now, I can't even look her in the eye. I called my best friend. He's been divorced 3 times. Yeah, I know, not exactly a role model, but he's been through the fire. Gave me the number of a vicious lawyer. That was his word. Vicious. I'm saving everything, backing up the messages, the pictures, the evidence. If there's video, and based on the stuff I've found, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll find that too. I want to fly to the hotel she'll be staying at on Monday, catch her in the act. I have access to her corporate booking site. I've listed myself as an emergency contact so I can pick up a spare key at the front desk without raising suspicion. I plan to monitor the messaging apps from the moment I land, watching the affair play out in real time. If I can't get the divorce papers ready by then, I'll hand her a copy of the full affair log. The file is over 600 pages. I've converted it to a PDF and formatted it. It's ready. I'm thinking I'll leave it in her hotel room with my wedding ring on top. Then I'll head to the bar downstairs, wait for my phone to start blowing up, and text the affair partner. I'll ask him to meet me in the lobby, tell him to bring her down, and just before I speak, I'll send a certified copy of the file to his house, addressed to his wife. I've already found her on Facebook. She accepted my friend request. It's all lined up. Is this spiteful? Yes. Is it petty? Maybe. But right now, I don't want closure. I want to hurt her emotionally, the way she destroyed me. She had a choice at every step, and she chose this. I'm trying to hold it together until Monday. I can barely stand to share the same space with her. This morning, I gave her a kiss on the cheek out of habit. My stomach turned, and then, just to make everything worse, I found the special toy. The one she said she was bringing. We have an entire drawer of adult toys. This one was new, sleek, expensive. One of those remote-controlled vibrators you can control from anywhere with an app. It was already packed in her carry-on. I had my meeting with the lawyer this morning. She was surprisingly kind, professional, but compassionate. She looked me in the eye and said something that stuck with me. My job is to protect your future. Your job is to tell me everything and not make my job harder. It hit me hard, but she was right. I'd gone to Kinko's beforehand to print out the file, all 600 plus pages of messages, photos, and screenshots. I paid extra to have them printed in color. I wanted every detail to pop off the page. The total came out to $534. Shout out to Chris at Kinko's, who stayed completely professional even as the nudes started coming out of the printer. He looked a little shocked, but just said, "Sorry, man," and shook my hand. After that, I went home and crashed. Slept for 3 hours. I was emotionally fried. My wife came home around 7:30 p.m., same time she always does. My lawyer had shut down my Hollywood revenge fantasy. She told me point blank that showing up at a hotel to confront them would make me look unhinged. Not becoming, in her words. So, no dramatic confrontation in the bar, no cinematic handoff, just paperwork. She explained there are two main divorce routes, contested and uncontested. Either my wife agrees to the terms through mediation, or we go to court and fight it out. But before anything else can happen, I have to notify her that I've retained legal counsel. The rest follows from there. So she walked through the door like it was just another Thursday. I looked at her and asked, "Is there anything going on that you want to talk about?" She shrugged. Said nothing other than the election was on her mind. Then she asked what was bothering me. I wanted to cry, but I was dried out. I'd cried everything out already, so I just asked, "Why do you have a remote control vibrator packed in your carry-on?" Her face changed instantly. She went pale. Her breathing picked up. She started to sweat. The panic was instant and obvious. I asked who had access to the app. "Who controlled it?" she stammered. The tears came. She tried to find something to say. Anything. That's when I pulled out the 3 file folders full of messages, photos, and logs. I asked, "Does the other man's wife have the app too?" She broke. She was sobbing, pleading. "I can explain. It wasn't supposed to go this far." "I love you." I gave her 5 minutes. She couldn't explain a thing. So I told her exactly what my lawyer had instructed me to say. I also told her to leave. She screamed that it was her house too. I told her that may be true, but if you stay, I'll make sure everyone knows what you've done. The girls will find out. Your co-workers will find out. Or you can leave quietly. She went silent. Then I pulled up Facebook. I showed her the affair partner's wife, the one who had accepted my friend request. I asked, "Do you want to tell her or should I?" She cried harder, moaned, begged me not to do it, so I hit send. I messaged the wife. I sent her the full file with a short, sincere note apologizing for how she had to find out. Then I started reading random lines from the messages aloud. "I just wish we could spend the day attached to each other. Just you inside of me. You feel so much more intense than any other woman I've ever been with." She collapsed into sobs. Said she wanted to talk. That our marriage could survive. This, I told her no. Her word meant nothing now. She had destroyed the last 17 years. She's still crying. She keeps begging to talk, to work through it. But I told her straight, "I will never forgive you. You destroyed this marriage. You threw away 17 years. I'm still deciding whether to go to her HR department. I'm still planning to let everyone know what she did, our friends, our family, her co-workers, the daughters I helped raise. Thank you to everyone who commented. I wish I could respond to all of your DMs and messages, but it's been overwhelming. I have a therapy appointment scheduled for Tuesday. I feel like I'm spinning between rage, numbness, and a weird kind of relief. Right now, I'm shaking. But also elated. I don't know what this feeling is. It's like everything has broken loose at once. I'm so emotionally wrecked, but there's nothing left to break. The house is quiet, except for her sobbing. I told her not to come back after her trip, that this house is no longer hers. And I meant it. I'm sitting here, going through Facebook, sending friend requests to people we both know, preparing to send out the file to everyone in one go. I want the truth out there. Let her try to rewrite the narrative after that. Tomorrow, I'll call the girls, the ones I helped raise. 28 and 23 now. I don't know how I'll tell them. I don't know how they'll react, but I raised them to value honesty. And they deserve to know who their mother really is.
Thanks for that, Nigel. Now let's dive into the comments section. First comment. Wow. The part that gets me is how calm and surgical you were. You didn't yell, you didn't beg, you just gathered the truth, handed her the wreckage, and walked out. That kind of composure is terrifying. And I mean that in the best way possible. Reply from OP. I had nothing left. There's a point where the pain burns so deep, it goes cold. I didn't need to scream. The evidence screamed for me. Second comment. I can't believe the sheer level of disrespect. Sexting a guy while lying next to you, using a toy you didn't even know existed, and doing it all in your home. In a house you built for her. That's next level betrayal. Reply from OP. That's what shattered me. Not just the affair, but how comfortable she was doing it right under my nose. It wasn't a mistake, it was routine. Third comment. I feel horrible for the affair partner's wife. She's got young kids. She didn't just get blindsided. Her whole life probably changed overnight. Reply from OP. I sent the message to her with an apology. She didn't deserve it. None of us did. But she had the right to know. Fourth comment. You handled this like a war general. Cold, calculated, and efficient. I don't know how you kept your composure, but I admire it. Reply from OP. I felt powerless at first. Then I realized I didn't have to fight dirty. I just had to fight smart. Fifth comment. Please update us on what the daughters say when you tell them. You raised them. They'll see through the lies. Reply from OP. I'm scared, honestly, but I owe them the truth. I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I just loved them. That has to count for something. He built her a home. She filled it with lies. And when the truth finally hit, it wasn't loud. It was paper, plastic, and a quiet message drop that blew her life apart. No yelling, no drama, just 600 pages, one wedding ring, and a man who decided, if she wanted out, he'd hand her the door. Sub if you like watching people implode gracefully. There's always another train wreck just a click away.